Rivers. Further back behind those would have been On the Wagon. Impoteric was never in the race. Then Prince Redeemus and Grey Man. Well back in the field, Noble Lancer, Celibacy. Our Joy's Boy was never in it. Hula Warrior, Noble Lancer. A lot of these horses obviously just didn't handle the conditions. And a few tired ones there as well, Gary. But Minyama, which was ridden by Paddy Payne, as I said before, loves the conditions. $31 and $9.70. Number 9, Local Knowledge, $14.10 for the place. And Forgotten Rule at $22.50. So this will be a huge trifecta, one of the biggest I think we've ever seen.
That's right. It's incredible. But Dan, you were spot on there with Minyana. It jumped well, led easily. It then drifted out once they got on the course proper, went out about 4 horses. If we've got the head on there, you can see as they come down, it was hugging the fence, then it drifted out. It's got out to about 4 or 5 horses off the inside rail here. The other horse on the fence was Local Knowledge. He got home very well. The Forgotten Ruler was right on the outside in the pink and blue sleeves there with the... just coming home now.
And Forgotten Ruler was a big run as well. Judges called for a developed print for second, so it's very close between Local Knowledge and the fast-finishing Forgotten Ruler. But Minyama, geez, a clever rider, Paddy Payne. He did what he had to. Obviously, the going must be okay along the fence, and then he's got him out into the better going. And has won clearly.
Now, here's where you can see Minyana here is right over on the fence. Local Knowledge is following it. And you'll see as they come down onto the course proper, Minyana starts to get off the track here. Luckily, he's clear. He's about 3 off the fence now. He's going out now further. And whether the ground's that little bit better or whether the horse just wanted to hang a little bit with him. He's gone out further than what I thought he is. He's gone out a good 7 or 8 horses.
But he was well clear at the time.
He was well clear, yes. But you can see Local Knowledge, Stephen King's come right along the inside rail there. And he's got home very well. And the other horse was about 4 from the inside, was Forgotten Ruler, ridden by Darren Gauci.
Dead heat for second. Dead heat between Local Knowledge and Forgotten Ruler. Numbers 5 and 9 have dead heated for second placing. Judge could not separate the two, so it's 17 the winner from a dead heat between 5 and 9. And there will be some enormous dividends here with the 3 place getters in the Schweppes 1200. The winner was about a 30-to-1 chance. Fourth was Have Your Say, number 7. It jumped okay and was up there early and seemed to lose its position, Have Your Say, Gary, and then ran on again at the finish.
Well, that's right. It was extraordinary from the start. Like a lot of those horses, they don't want to go over to the fence, obviously. They want to stay out a bit. And they seem to sort of all come together in the middle of the track. They race very tight, where normally on a race like this with such a big field, you get some coming down the outside rail.
Minyama, 31.10 and 9.70, 22.50 for number 5, 14.10 for number 9. Quinella, 17 and 5, 802.80. Quinella, 17 and 9, 454.90. And some big trifectas there in Victoria too, Tim. It was one of those races where, well, you just had to throw a pin at the form book. One of the trifectas in Victoria, 17, 5 and 9, has paid $20,907.80. The other 17, 9 and 5, $15,680.90. That'd be nice.
Nice? That's not the word for it. That'd be sensational. All right, they're ready for the presentations down on the track.
Metre mark at the furthermost point of the track, over there near the Smithfield Road Bridge. And they only have a run of around about 200 metres, a straight run, before they come around the turn, which starts at about the 1,200 metre mark and then brings them into the straight. Dr. Turf is with me now and just trying to...
Also, I don't think you'd be a good wet tracker. You don't look happy in those conditions at all. Gold Trump, 14.70. Prince of Praise, 23. 39, Prince Ormenium. 11 for Soho Square. 5.80 for Leggings. She loves these conditions. $13, Let's Hurry. 46 for Status. Isle, 24. He likes these conditions. Instrumental, $15.60. Unequalled, number 10. Doesn't like these conditions. 11.20. Habituate, 16. Tango Master, 23. Auntie Mary's come up short. 4.70 and 150. Blushing Bijou, 17. Carolingian, 15. Palm Beach, also $15. Scratch numbers 17 and 18 over Pitch and Varo's last. The Melbourne Cup is race 6 and we're drawing closer to the Cup and it's due to start at 3:30. Better Loosen Up, 33. Superimpose, Let's Elope, 14. 11, Castletown. My Eagle Eye, 45. Dr. Grace, better than 50 to 1. Heroicity, 25. Sub-Zero, 5.90 and second favourite. Favourite Vianda Cross, number 9 at 4.70. Equidity, 20. Star of the Realm, 15. 43 for Donegal Miss. 31 for Tiaco Nick. Valdiano and Cavalieri and Cross Swords, all huge odds. 17, London Bridge. Huge odds, Mr. O Eurostar, 163 for the win. Big Baron, 740. 61, Ali Boy. Maharaja, Brave Expectations. Skyflyer, Sir Winston, 4 of the outsiders down the bottom. 4.4 million in the win. 3.3 million for the place. That's the Cup. the Melbourne Cup at 3:30.
And at 2:40, the Great Western, with the thoughts of Graham Kelly now. And I don't think Graham's a wet tracker either, Dan, because you don't look too comfortable in the conditions. It's happened.
Pat, what's the situation on the track, Pat?
We're going to alter the track category from dead to slow.
And that means horses can be withdrawn from the Cup?
We'll make that decision now.
Thanks very much, Pat.
All right, Graham Kelly first on the scene there with the news that the track will be downgraded from dead to slow, and that means that Let's Elope will probably come out. Superimpose is a definite runner, despite the fact the track has been downgraded to slow. Owner Dennis Marks, you can see him standing there in the background. Pat Lawler just walking past, and Dennis Marks very anxious at the moment with Bart Cummings. Colin Alderson, the trainer of Big Baron, must be clapping his hands as he looks up at the skies now. Sub-Zero. Well, I just spoke to Anthony Freedman, and he said, well, probably better off on a dead track rather than slow. You can see that the stewards have called Mr. Dennis Marks in there, and we'll stay with this situation for a moment because it could very well be that last year's winner's coming out, Tim.
Yeah, Peter, what is the situation? Now, we've had the track downgraded to slow, and Mr. Lawler said he'd make a decision about horses coming out of the race. Is it his decision alone?
It is his decision, but the rule of thumb is that as soon as there is a downgrading, the connections can go in, and they can request permission to scratch the horse, which they have already done. In fact, Graham Kelly's with me now. Graham, they did that actually before the downgrading.
That's exactly correct, but an interesting point that's just come up that the Freedmans had decided to approach the stewards about scratching Superimpose, but now that Let's Elope's coming out, they're having a rethink.
Is that
so
right?
It's all becoming quite dramatic and quite involved.
Well, what about Dennis Marks? I mean, he's been involved in a history-making protest last year, and now all of a sudden in these amazing scenes outside the stewards' room. This is a bit like last year, only after the Melbourne Cup.
Exactly, that's right. It's a lot of drama going on, but the other thing you have to go back to the basic point is that these horses wouldn't do well in the conditions, so really they're not losing anything by having them come out.
All right, well, I don't think it's going to be any surprise what this announcement is. We've already had the announcement that the track has been downgraded from dead to slow. And course broadcaster Greg Miles about to get the news. Super is definitely running. Superimpose definitely running.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's an important late scratching in the Melbourne Cup. Number 3, Let's Elope, has been withdrawn at 2:29 because of the change in the state of the going.
Well, that is
Number
a great
3,
shame. Let's Elope out at 2:29, but an amazing roar went up. And, well, this is shades of 1969, Graham, when, well, he was outright favourite, Big Faloo. He was taken out for a different reason, but it's not too often you see one of the favourites in the Melbourne Cup come out as late as this.
No, you certainly don't, Peter. It's a lot of drama happening, and, of course, that's the Melbourne Cup.
It is just another chapter written into folklore before the races even started, Tim. So that's the news. Let's Elope, a scratching from the Melbourne Cup. Superimpose, a definite starter at this stage.
Thank you.
This is Cambridge Stud, situated in the heart of thoroughbred country in the Waikato region of Cambridge, New Zealand. It's perhaps one of the most famous studs in Australasia, and also the home of the world-famous sire, Sir Tristram. This cagey bay is arguably the best-known stallion in the Southern Hemisphere. At 22 years of age, Sir Tristram, an Irish-bred horse who won only 2 races but did run in the 1974 Kentucky Derby, has been standing at Patrick Hogan's Cambridge Stud for 15 years, and in that time has proven to be the most sought-after stallion in Australasia.
Well, I think he's certainly a unique horse in that he's very much an individualist. I've always put it in very short terms that if he was actually in the wild, there's no doubt he'd be king of the forest. He's got that type of temperament. He's a kind of horse that, you know, he just likes to be on his own and left on his own. In fact, so much so that we don't even house him at night or box him, so to speak. He runs out day and night in his paddock through all the seasons.
Sir Tristram is the father of such notable gallopers as Melbourne Cup winners Gurner's Lane and the great mare Empire Rose, plus a host of other top performers, including Dr. Grace, Grosvenor, Tristark and Zabeel. All up, Sir Tristram has sired the winners of over $40 million.
Well, sure, I think, you know, there's been probably 1 or 2 things that have helped that along. One, that we had the horse, so in having the horse on our hands, like Sir Tristram, we were able to capitalise, my wife Justine and I, and certainly we worked hard, but it's a life that we like. We love what we do, and never had any thought of changing it, and I'm certain if Sir Tristram hadn't come along, I'd still be standing here striving to do the best I could.
Cambridge Stud is the most recognised stud in New Zealand. Maintained in excellent order by the many gardeners and caretakers, it is quite an immaculate setup. It has acres of paddocks with some of the most prized bloodstock in the world. This house is home for new sire Zabeel, a son of Sir Tristram, who has won over $1 million on the racetrack. Patrick Hogan believes he's the obvious replacement for Sir Tristram.
Well, yes, he's an interesting horse, and you know, we feel very fortunate to be able to stand Zabeel. Yeah, he did sustain an injury at Flemington, which finished his racing career, and I feel certain had he gone on and not had that injury, it would have been pretty difficult to have got Zabeel out of the Arabs' hands, or even Colin Hayes' Lindsay Park stud. So we're very fortunate to have him at Cambridge Stud. And of course, as I said, 3 or 4 years' time, Sir Tristram's probably, fair to say, has to bow out. And we'd like to think Zabeel will start to come in behind him as his son here at Cambridge Stud.
Absolutely magnificent, aren't they? Aren't they? They're just gorgeous creatures, those big stallions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to make another amendment to your sweeps right around the country. Let's Elope out, of course. We hope you have that. Now, number 16, Cross Swords, has been scratched from the Melbourne Cup as well. So 3 and 16 are now out of the Melbourne Cup. And as I throw back down to Peter Donegan, I think we better talk to that man from the Weather Bureau who said it might be going to clear, because if the sound on my roof is any indication, Pete, it's coming down even heavier.
Yes, and the warning siren's just gone again, Tim, so we could be batting 3 out of 3 in a minute. So just repeating, as Tim just said, Let's Elope out of the Melbourne Cup. Cross Swords is also out of the Melbourne Cup, and the warning siren's sounding. It could very well be a late scratching in another race.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's another late scratching from the Melbourne Cup.
Superimposed.
Number 5, My Eagle Eye.
My Eagle Eye out.
At 2:32 because of the state of the track.
A few minutes ago we had 24 runners. Now we've got 21 because we've got My Eagle Eye out, we've got Let's Elope out, and we've also got Cross Swords out. So 3 late scratchings from the Melbourne Cup as they go to the stalls here for the running of race number 5, the Great Western. And at this rate, Dan, I hope the rain stops, otherwise we mightn't have any left apart from Big Baron.
Well, my job's getting easier, isn't it, by the second? And they're off and racing now. Tango Master missed the start by a length and a half, and Isle a little bit slow to begin. Prince of Praise began quickly, and he looks for the early lead from Status, getting to second. Blushing Bijou goes through to third. Gold Trump was fourth. They were followed by Instrumental, and then came Let's Hurry, Carolingian, Soho Square wide, Auntie Mary's midfield. Then Palm Beach over on the inside, unequal going around it from Leggings, and then came Isle, Prince of Minium, and Tango Masters last of all, and he must be about 12 lengths off the lead. Prince of Praise in front. 1,000 metres to go, a length and a half to the grey Blushing Bijou. Third, the outside Status, and then Instrumental over on the inside, Carolingian, followed by Soho Square. A length and a half to Let's Hurry over the crossing. Gold Trump on the inside of Sir Bituate. Isle starting to come into the race out 3 and 4 wide with Leggings. Well back before the turn, unequal, and then Tango Master, Prince of Minium, and Palm Beach. 500 metres to go. Prince of Praise, the Kiwi, leads into the straight by a length. Going up on the outside, a second. Instrumental, Carolingian looking for the way out. Gets it now, then Blushing Bijou. Status behind them. Leggings wider out, followed by Soho Square, Sir Bituate. Gold Trump starting to run on. 300 metres to go. Carolingian goes out after Prince of Praise. Here comes Let's Hurry down the outside, finishing very quickly. Then Auntie Mary from a long way back, and Sir Bituate. Prince of Praise grabbed by Carolingian on the outside. Let's Hurry. Prince of Praise, Carolingian. Let's Hurry. Let's Hurry went to the front. Leggings from a long way back with Sir Bituate. It's Let's Hurry in front, getting close to the post from Prince of Praise, and Let's Hurry wins. Let's Hurry has beaten Prince of Praise. Sir Bituate may have just got third in front of Carolingian. Then Leggings out wider, Blushing Bijou, Tango Master, Gold Trump, followed in by Palm Beach and unequalled Auntie Mary, Soho Square and Isle. Well back Status, Prince Ormenium, and Instrumental was back towards the rear. You'll find the winner of the Great Western, number 6, Let's Hurry, and Gary, you've done it again. You're on a roll at the moment, a 16-1 winner.
Well, he just stood out as they were going out. He looked beautiful.
First win in wet ground, Let's Hurry, 17.60 and 5.60, the expected should pays. Prince of Praise, $8.50. They're getting up at all sorts of prices now, and there's a photo finish for third placing. A three-way go. But
doesn't sound like Danny's quite ready with them yet, or anyone else around the country.
I'm up here, but just no dividends at this stage, Tim. Either there's a breakdown in the computer, maybe they can't handle all the scratchings, but we have no dividends at the moment. So we'll have them very shortly.
Yes, apparently the rest of Australia has managed it, so it's just us here in Melbourne, as we should tell you, actually, when we throw to those local dividends. Of course, they're different right around the country, so we take them here and you take them where